we just had a sandwich at the legendary Village Cheese House, which has been there since 1959, and it's in the Town and Country Shopping Center, right across the street from Stanford University. So now we're gonna go to see computers. So Wayne, there it is, that's where we're going. Computer History Museum.
Yep.
Not bad, looks good.
Like a big building.
That's a big building. That's a large man, Dwayne. So what are you parking here? That's gotta be.
Probably.
Yeah. Here we are, we're at the museum. We got the parking spot right in front. And we're gonna go check it out. This is trippy. I can control. It's like the Google. Whoa. Oh, that's trippy. That looks like shoreline right there, huh? Here, you go in and do that. These are the Fairchild guys.
Yeah.
Early pioneers.
So we have to return this to the free, or else we're not. Decimal digital computer. So what happens? We have to perform a carry. So we got a 0, and we have to add 1 to the gear above it. This is where the magic happens, in my opinion. Actually, I have this upside down, sorry. That's this lever up here. This is called the carry lever.
So it was memory. So this holds memory at any given point in time until you change it, right? So if you had multiple, is that what the analytical engine had, like multiple?
No, I mean, it had more than that, much more functionally. So it had the addition capability and subtraction. It uses a tens complement for subtraction. So there actually are negative numbers
Tens
in here
complement.
right now. Tens complement. What did I say? Tens complement?
No, tens. I'm always thinking two as well.
So here's a negative number. All 9s and then 4, 2, 3, 1. So it's a negative number. Tens complement. So it did that, but it also could do multiplication and, through methods, division. And it had a memory, so you could store data, and it was, you couldn't store program. It wasn't a stored program.
Well, in Atlantic Monthly magazine, the last 5,000 years discoveries and inventions. Name one of the top 5 inventions.
I'd be curious as to what your opinion.
Not just 5,000 years ago, through that whole
Yeah.
period. Oh, well, the computer, I mean, is one of the most amazing inventions ever. It's a universal machine. Turing wrote a paper about universal machine in the 30s. And, anything that we can come up with in algorithmic form, we can tell computers to do. And we're getting beyond that now with artificial intelligence that's getting practical. Did you see Jeopardy with Watson computer? So that's artificial intelligence.
It wasn't fair. That guy was too good.
Yeah.
Even
very,
Ken
very
Jennings.
impressive.
Even Ken Jennings couldn't beat him.
Right.
So was he close on any of those? What
Well,
was?
I think computer was like 5 or 6, but the actual printing press was number 1.
It's actually we talked about this afternoon or this morning.
Electricity was 2.
Yeah. Someone's opinion.
Invented
Someone's opinion.
electricity, but
Well, no, I know, but
yeah.
or discovered.
Right.
Same.
Yeah,
But
actually-
computer's way up there.
During the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution, I mean, we live in a time of rapid technological change.
Unbelievable.
It's dizzying. It's nothing like the 1900s. I mean, they went from oxen to steam engines, human calculations to mechanical calculations, just unbelievable, amazing things. So Faraday discovered electromagnetism in that period of time, like 1930. I'm very bad with numbers. The highlights of the 19th century. From gaslighting, that allowed, compared to oil and candlelight, allowed nightclubs, allowed nightlife, allowed you to stay
all
up
for that.
after the sun was down. Imagine that. Iron and steel were made, more practical.
Yeah.
Discovery of concrete. Talk about 5,000 years.
Yeah.
The Romans invented it, and it was lost in the Dark Ages. No one knew what concrete was or how to make it. It was rediscovered in 1790.
What did I say?
Eyeglasses were discovered. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bada
So
Boom.
these are the 1700s to up to 1900.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
off by
All right.
1 century.
Close enough.
What the
Off
heck
by
in
one,
the
it's a
course
programming error.
Good programming error.
So one of the things that was a challenge when this was being made is mechanical fabrication wasn't very advanced, and there were no interchangeable parts. You bought a knot, a bolt and a nut as a pair, and they worked together, but they didn't necessarily work on that nut on any other bolt.
Right.
Because it wasn't reproducible. The lathe came in here, metalworking lathe, 1800s.
Paper knife.
And so when this was built, the Babbage hired basically the best mechanical engineer,
At the time.
Fabricator in London. And he had to, those have to be interchangeable for them to work. And he had to, perfect that methodology, which is one of the reasons it went over time and over budget. You know about the Jacquard loom? Oh. Go on my tour. It was invented, actually patented in 1800. It was the first mechanical loom. Automatically programmable loom. So it used punch cards to tell it where all the strings go. And a sequence of these cards would just simply go through the reader, and wires would be pressed against it, and if there was a hole, the wire went through, and that was one mechanism, and if there wasn't, that wire didn't go through. Very, very simple idea. But all of a sudden, fancy fabrics were possible cheaply in Europe. And that did two things. One, it pretty much created the middle class, because all of a sudden people of that income level could afford fancy fabrics for their draperies and their dresses and those kind of things. Secondly, it created a new kind of commerce in trade. If you want to go to India and trade for spices, they don't want your French franc. But this, you can look at this. You want that? You don't have this. So that's a tradable commodity. So it actually transformed everything, and really an amazing development.
I love your enthusiasm. It's good. It's good.
Yes. Well, maybe that's the reason it's not.
So did it get access to the internet? No.
And the batteries go.
It was the Lario Shopping Center, and I used to work in there at Sunnyvale Hardware. Very cool. Very cool. So Wayne, that big gigantic machine was an 1849 calculator. Yeah. Yeah. 49ers. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is amazing.
And then it wasn't touched again for another basically 110 years.
This is amazing. And so where was this stored?
Well, the machine was never built.
Got
The
it.
machine was built, this machine was built 1998, 99.
To replicate his-
2000. The first machine was built 1986 to 1991.
Got it. Looks like he was ahead of his time.
No, he's a big time guy.
Okay.
Computers are coming to the people.
One point I happened to make to Stuart Brand was this was a great collaboration. Not just a good game and an excellent piece of programming art.
Space War encouraged interaction between human and machine. It got people excited about the field of computer programming. And it introduced the world to the multi-billion-dollar industry of computer gaming.
And that's not going away anytime soon.
Could play games with computers, and people have been doing it ever since.
fancy wooden pieces on wires, but you know, they were doing those calculations at that time.
That's a large computer.
Very large.
All right, we're gonna go take a look, and Wayne knows some guy in one of these pictures.
Bob Whitmer, they talk about this guy all the time. I never met him. They talked about him.